Beloved son and beloved daughter, pause your thoughts for an instant and listen. For as you read these words, heaven has opened over you. Yes, right now. This is not a simple message. You are facing a divine intervention. You didn't arrive here by chance. You didn't stumble upon this moment by accident. You were guided with celestial precision, attracted by a force your eyes cannot see, but that your soul recognized from before time. You were called to this exact moment, where my voice breaks the silence, where my light penetrates your shadows, where my spirit touches what the world could not heal. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have been watching you. I saw how you silently carried what no one imagined. I saw your nights of exhaustion when your soul was dimming behind a forced smile. I saw your tears fall in the darkness, and I collected each one of them with my eternal hands. You were never alone, even though the void screamed otherwise. Today, I have decided to speak to you without intermediaries, because your spirit has reached the exact point where it can listen without fear, where it can feel without fleeing, where it can recognize my presence without confusing it with pain. That is why I tell you, stop here, remain. Don't rush. Don't try to understand everything with your mind. This message is not made for reason, but for the soul. In this precise instant, the angels are silent, the winds stop, and the universe seems to hold its breath, because my voice is going to pronounce your name, and when I do, something will stir within you. A vibration, a gentle current, a peace you did not know. That will not be suggestion. It will be recognition, your spirit remembering where it comes from. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have come to remind you that you are not forgotten. I have come to tell you that nothing you have lived through was a waste. Even the pains you most wanted to bury were part of a divine sowing. Your story is not ruin. It is fertile ground that is about to blossom with celestial power. As you read, a different atmosphere surrounds you. You feel the air distinct, your heart slower, your soul awakens. It is not fleeting emotion. It is my Holy Spirit descending with tenderness. There is something opening above your head, a gateway of light, a golden current descending and enveloping you like an invisible mantle. That is my presence, my son. My daughter, I am here. Hear my voice within the silence. You have cried believing your prayers were lost. You have thought that heaven had fallen. But today I come to tell you it was not silence. It was strategy. I was silent for a moment, not out of absence, but because I was preparing what you asked for with tears. And now the time has come. Look closely around you. Feel what is happening in your spirit. The invisible chains that bound you to guilt, to fear, to the past are yielding. The weight that oppressed your chest dissolves, and a new sigh is born within you, as if breathing hurt less, as if living were beginning to make sense again. What you feel is not weakness. It is liberation. Heaven, listen closely, is not distant. Heaven has found you. And as my angels descend, my light penetrates the places where sadness hid. I'm touching your memories, your wounds, your unfinished promises. I'm restoring what was damaged and awakening what slept within you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not be afraid to feel my presence. Do not flee from this sacred tremor in your soul. It is the sign that my spirit is at work. The heart trembles when the soul remembers the eternal, and you in this moment are remembering who you are and to whom you belong. Listen carefully. This message is not a coincidence. It is a divine call. I chose you to hear this today because something within you needed to awaken. Your life will not be the same after this instant. Spiritual time has moved. Heaven's clock has struck your hour. Everything that was stagnant will begin to flow, and everything that seemed lost will begin to return. Do not close this message, because if you reach the end, my voice will seal your spirit with direction, healing, and purpose. All of hell will not be able to break what I will establish in you today. This is not just any day. It is the day heaven decided to touch your story. I'm your God, and I declare the pain you lived will not be your end. The emptiness you feel will be filled with my glory. The silence that tormented you will transform into a melody of victory. and what you thought died will resurrect before your eyes. Beloved son and beloved daughter, heaven has just opened over you. From this moment on, nothing will ever be the same. The angels begin to move, the portals of my grace are activated, and the story the enemy wanted to erase begins to be written again. But now with my hand, remain, because what you will hear next is the revelation your soul has awaited for years. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there were nights when your soul broke so silently that not even heaven seemed to hear. The lights went out, the house slept, but your mind remained awake, circling between memories and questions that hurt like thorns embedded in your chest. You closed your eyes and wished not to feel, not to think, not to exist for a moment. Your heart grew small and you told yourself, I can't go on anymore. But I, who dwell in your every breath, was there. In that instant, when life seemed to stop, I looked at you. I saw you when your strength dissolved, like sand between your fingers. I saw you when you smiled in front of everyone, so that no one would notice that a world was collapsing inside. I saw you when you sought an embrace and no one understood, when you felt invisible even among people, when you wished to disappear just to rest. I was there, silently observing, watching over your every step, waiting for the exact moment to speak to you without fear making you run. I saw you, beloved son, beloved daughter, when weariness became your companion and tears became your prayers. I saw you when you knelt without words, when only a sigh escaped your lips, and you believed that sigh was lost in the void. But it was not lost. It reached me. It arrived as a pure sound, like the echo of a soul that does not give up, even when it has no strength left. And in that moment, heaven leaned toward you. I saw you when the enemy whispered in your ear that you were a failure, that no one understood you, that your story no longer made sense. I saw you when you almost believed him, when your hands trembled, when you thought it wasn't worth continuing. But even then, my spirit surrounded you. You didn't feel it clearly, but a gentle breeze touched your skin, an inexplicable calm covered you, and for a second you breathed differently. That second was my breath. It was my way of telling you, it's not over yet, beloved son, beloved daughter. There were nights where the pain became so heavy that your body bent under its weight. You looked toward heaven seeking answers, but only found silence. You thought that silence was abandonment, but it was not. It was my silence of preparation. When I am silent, it is not because I don't hear. When I don't answer, it is not because I ignore you. I'm silent because I am working, because the miracle needs silence to be born. And while you cried, believing that all was lost, I was ordering the pieces you could not see. I was raising angels around you. I was closing paths that would have destroyed you. I was whispering to your enemies, stop here. While you feared, I fought for you. While you doubted, I prepared your dawn. I saw you when you believed that faith was useless, when you raised your hands to heaven and said, what's the use of praying? And yet you prayed. You prayed with a broken voice. You prayed through tears. You prayed without hope. And that prayer, the weakest, the most broken, was the most powerful, because it was born from truth, from the limit of your soul. I don't need perfect prayers. I hear those born of sincere pain. And every time you spoke to me, even with silence, I responded with protection. Beloved son, beloved daughter, I saw you when you walked aimlessly and your soul felt empty. I saw you gaze at the horizon without knowing what you wanted. You only knew you didn't want to stay the same. And even though your feet didn't know where to go, my hand guided the way. I made you cross paths with people who sustained you when you couldn't go on anymore. I placed signs you didn't understand at first, but that today you remember and know were not coincidences. Nothing was a coincidence. Every moment had a purpose. Every tear was a seed. Every fall was a lesson dressed in pain. I saw you when the weight of the past suffocated you, when the voices of you weren't enough, repeated like echoes within you. I saw you when you thought you didn't deserve love, that you didn't deserve comfort, that the world would go on without you, without noticing. But I want you to listen to this carefully. No thought of yours went unnoticed by me. I was there in every sigh, in every tremor, in every moment when your soul asked for a sign without daring to utter it. And that sign came, though you didn't notice it. It came in the calm that covered you without explanation. It came in that dawn where, for the first time in a long time, you felt you could try again. It came in that moment where you decided to continue, even though it still hurt. And in heaven it was written, "My child did not give up. I saw you when the world turned gray, when your hands trembled with fear, when your thoughts darkened. But even in the midst of that darkness, a spark remained alive within you. It was small, barely visible, but enough. That spark was my Holy Spirit, sustaining you when your mind said it was impossible. It was the living promise that your story was not over. I saw you when you found no reasons to smile, and yet you smiled to avoid worrying others. I saw you when you gave without having, when you helped in silence, when you loved without receiving. Those times you believed no one noticed your kindness, I noticed it all. And every act of yours was kept in my eternal memory. For it is not grand gestures that move heaven, but the small decisions of love that are born from weariness. Beloved son, beloved daughter, I saw you when you thought of giving up, and I did not let you. I placed peace where there should have been despair. I placed a ray of light where all was shadow. I placed a subtle thought, a gentle voice that said, resist a little longer. That voice was mine, and that little longer was enough to change everything. While you slept, I sent angels to watch over your mind, because the enemy wanted to destroy you from within, but I stopped him. While you cried, my presence covered you. While you said, I can't anymore, I told you, I can in you. And today, as you read this, I remind you, you were not weak. You were brave, because continuing to live when the soul hurts is not cowardice. It is spiritual heroism. I saw you fall, yes, but I also saw you get up. I saw you wipe your tears, breathe deeply and say, I'm going to try again. And that small attempt for you was gigantic in the kingdom, because heaven celebrates not the perfect, but those who, though wounded, decide to believe. Today I speak to you with tenderness, not with reproach, because I want you to know that it was never your end. That dark night was not your burial. It was your root, growing in secret. The soil that covered you was not a tomb. It was fertile ground. And from that earth, from that weeping, something new will sprout, something divine, something the world will not be able to extinguish. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen to me with your heart. I saw you, and I continue to see you. Every day you get up, despite the pain, heaven rises with you. Every step you take, though trembling, the entire universe aligns to support you. I did not observe you from afar. I walk with you from the beginning. And in the instant you believed it all ended, my plan was just beginning. You have not yet seen all that I will do. You have not yet felt the magnitude of the purpose that slept within you. Because every wound will be a testimony, every fall a stepping stone, every tear a key. And when everything is revealed, you will understand that what you thought was destroying you was actually the hand of God shaping your destiny. You did not give up, my son. You transformed. And now, as my light descends upon you, I tell you, that was the last day you thought you were alone. Because since then, my presence has remained by your side, waiting for the exact moment when your soul could hear it. And that moment is now. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there are moments when your soul does not understand what it feels. The body continues on its way, but within you, something invisible begins to move. It is a gentle calm, a sensation of tenderness, a windless breeze that caresses the heart. It is not imagination, it is not coincidence. It is my voice. I, your God, have always been speaking to you. I spoke to you in your childhood when you looked at the sky without knowing why it moved you. I spoke to you on nights of pain when no one listened to you and only silence accompanied you. That silence was full of me. My voice is not always heard with the ears, but the soul recognizes it. I speak to you when you feel peace without explanation. I speak to you when a song appears just when you needed it. I speak to you when a memory arrives with tenderness, or when a person utters words that touch the deepest part of you. It is I. My voice moves in the small, in what goes unnoticed, in what others call coincidence. But you know it is not. Do not look for my presence in thunder or in the noise of the world. I'm in the simple. I'm in the dawn that promises new beginnings. I'm in the wind that blows and in the rain that cleanses. I'm in the silence that settles upon your soul when weariness surrenders. Sometimes you think I don't speak to you, but I do. My voice disguises itself as calm, as comfort, as a pause. When a path closes and you don't understand why, it is I protecting you. When a door opens and your heart fills with peace, it is I guiding you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, my voice is a whisper that does not seek to impose itself, but to awaken. I do not come to confuse you. I come to remind you that you can still trust, that not everything is lost, that there is something beyond fear. I'm here when you feel warmth in your chest, when a tear falls without sadness, when a breeze touches your face without reason. It is my spirit caressing you. It is my tenderness enveloping you. It is my presence silently telling you, I have not left you alone. I have spoken to you in dreams, in thoughts, in memories that return with light. I speak to you when your heart calms and when you decide to forgive. I speak to you when you choose to be silent instead of responding with anger. I speak to you when you help without expecting reward. Every time you choose good, you are listening to my voice. Do not let the noise of the world drown out my whisper. You don't need to make great efforts to hear me. Just stop for a moment. Breathe, be silent, and let your spirit remember. There in that stillness you will find me. I am the wind that surrounds you, the peace that covers you, the love that does not fade. When fear speaks loudly to you, look for me in the gentle. When doubt screams, seek my voice in the silence. I dwell where there is calm. I'm in what is not seen but felt. I'm in the invisible that gives strength. Beloved son and beloved daughter, every time I stopped you for no reason, I saved you from danger. Every time I closed a path to you, I was preparing a better one. Every time I took something away from you, I was protecting your future. My voice has always been with you. I have been in the nights you woke up without explanation. I have been in the times you felt a presence and didn't know where it came from. It was I. My light covered you. My angel surrounded you. My hands held you. Doubt no more. Don't look for impossible signs. The simple fact of feeling peace is a confirmation. It is I working within you. When the soul quiets, heaven manifests itself. That's why today I tell you, listen with your heart, not with your mind, not with fear, but with faith. When you think no one understands you, remember that I do. When you believe you are alone, remember that I accompany you. When you wonder if I still love you, remember that I never stopped. My voice does not demand. It embraces. It does not judge. It lifts you. It does not push. It guides you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the whisper you recognize is my promise. It is the thread that unites your soul with eternity. Do not fear if you feel it differently. It is I touching you within. I am the Father who does not tire, the God who does not turn away, the presence that does not fade. Listen to me well. When you close your eyes and everything seems still, I will be there. When you have no words, I will speak for you. When your heart trembles, I will hold it with my peace. I have never stopped speaking to you. You were just learning to hear me. And today, finally, you are succeeding. This whisper you feel now is not a beautiful thought. It is a divine appointment between your soul and mine. I, your God, tell you, do not fear, do not run, do not flee. My voice is within you, and as long as you continue to listen with love, you will know that I have never left you alone, because I am the whisper you recognize. I'm the voice that calms storms. I'm the silence that enfolds you in peace. And every time your heart quiets, you will hear my eternal word again. I am here. I always was. I always will be. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen with your soul, because in this instant the heavens are moving in your favor. Angels surround your space, and the atmosphere begins to vibrate with an energy that does not come from this world. The air becomes warmer, you're breathing deeper, and something in you knows it. Archangel Michael is here. He does not arrive as a common messenger. He arrives as a manifestation of my power and my faithfulness. Your God, send him before you to open paths, to cut with his sword what prevented you from advancing, to clear the ground where you had stumbled again and again. Michael does not descend with violence, but with authority. He does not come to bring fear, but purpose. His sword does not wound, it illuminates. His shield does not imprison, it protects. And at this moment his light begins to surround you like an unbreakable golden circle. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not fear the invisible war. Do not fear what your eyes do not see, because heaven fights for you. The forces that rose to stop you are falling one by one before the brightness of truth. The enemy thought he would make you retreat, but now he retreats because my voice spoke and Michael obeys. Every word I utter becomes a sword in his hand. Every promise I made to you becomes his command. That is why today darkness recedes and clarity makes way before you. There is a battle you do not see, but you are winning it. Every time you choose forgiveness over anger, Michael raises his sword. Every time you decide to pray instead of giving up, his wings expand and cover your house. Every time you speak with love when the world provokes you, celestial fire ignites and cleanses your surroundings. You do not fight alone. Heaven has sent reinforcements, and Michael walks before you. I have sent him to traverse your paths and mark the ground with light. Where there were stumbles, he will bring firmness. Where there was fear, he will bring courage. Where there were losses, he will open opportunities. Nothing will remain the same, because when he enters, everything is ordered. Beloved son and beloved daughter, sometimes you believed that doors closed as punishment, but now you will understand that it was protection. Michael blocked what was going to harm you. He closed alliances that would have stolen your peace. He separated you from voices that did not come from me, and although you did not understand it, it was love that kept you safe. He spread his wings when danger surrounded you, covered you while you slept, fought while you cried, and while you said, I can't go on, he said, I will fight for you. Archangel Michael does not appear with a roar. He appears in moments when you have no strength left. Sometimes you feel him as a warmth that rises from your chest. Sometimes as a gentle current that passes by your side when you pray. Sometimes as a sudden peace in the midst of chaos. That is him. He is fulfilling his order. He protects you, guides you, accompanies you. Listen clearly to what I tell you. There is no obstacle that can stand before the light Michael carries. No cursed word against you has power. No spell, envy, resentment, or shadow can resist the fire that accompanies him. For his fire does not burn flesh. It burns darkness. And as he advances, paths are cleared, minds are clarified, and your soul breathes again. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I send him to remind you that you are not alone. Weariness is not a sign of defeat. It is a sign that a new strength is approaching, and that strength descends from heaven itself. Michael carries my seal on his chest, and my word on his wings. Where he steps, life flourishes. Where he passes, order is reestablished. Where his gaze touches, the impossible becomes possible. If you feel a sudden urge to pray, to give thanks, or to look up to heaven, do not ignore it. It is Michael touching your spirit to align you with divine purpose. When a strange emotion shakes you, when a tear falls without pain, when the air around you feels different, stop. He is near. His presence is not to scare you, but to make you remember that heaven remains attentive to your story. He opens paths you do not see. He enters places where you cannot enter. He anticipates the steps you have not yet taken. He prepares the days you have not yet lived. And when you reach those places, everything will be ready. What was going to harm you will no longer be able to reach you. What was going to stop you will no longer have power over you. Michael has descended with a clear mission: to break the seals of stagnation, to destroy the chains of fear, to close portals of sadness, and to open paths of blessing. Nothing can resist the order I have given. His sword is not of iron, but of light, and every time he raises it, darkness recedes without being able to resist. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when you feel confused, call him. Pronounce his name with faith. Tell him, Archangel Michael, open the path God has traced for me, and he will respond. You don't need to see him. His energy will fill everything. You will feel the air change, your body lighten, something invisible pushing you forward. That is the sign that heaven has heard you. Today, his sword descends between you and everything that steals your peace. It cuts pain, doubt, guilt, lies. It cuts the words that hurt you. It cuts the memories that held you back. It cuts the chains that the past left in your mind. And as he cuts, I rebuild. As he cleanses, I bless. As he fights, I declare victory. Nothing the enemy attempted will prosper, because Michael is at the front. And where he walks, shadows dissolve. The time of darkness ends here. The time of clarity and purpose begins now. Beloved son and beloved daughter, trust. Do not fear what you do not yet see, because heaven has already walked before you. Michael has cleared the way, and what was once a wall is now a door. A door opened by my power, sealed with my name, and guarded by his light. Dare to advance. Don't look back. Nothing you left behind has more authority than what awaits you ahead. And when you advance, remember that his presence goes with you. When you feel weak, he will steady your step. When fear returns, his sword will shine by your side. And when you doubt yourself, he will remind you that you were chosen, protected, and loved from eternity. Michael has already opened the way. The ground beneath your feet is firm again. The air is light again. Your soul breathes again. Walk in peace, because what was closed has been opened, and what held you back has fallen. Heaven has spoken, the angels have moved, and you are covered by a light that will never fade. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there comes a moment when the soul can no longer carry so much weight. That weight doesn't always come from what you did, but from what you believed you did wrong. It is the echo of thoughts that haunt you, of memories that whisper in your ear, of decisions you replay in your mind with the hope of changing them. But today, I, your God, come to speak directly to that burden. Guilt, release your hold. For a long time, you felt responsible for things beyond your control. You blamed yourself for not being enough, for not speaking in time, for not seeing the pain coming. You punished yourself in silence, hiding your soul behind smiles and apparent strength. But every night, as you closed your eyes, that voice returned to remind you of what you believed was unforgivable. And that voice was not mine. I never condemned you. I never pointed a finger at you. The judgment you feel does not come from heaven. It comes from your wound. Because when the heart suffers, it seeks culprits even within itself. And you pointed at yourself again and again, forgetting that the love that sustains you holds no grudge. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I saw you when you cried for what you could not avoid. I saw you asking for my forgiveness, for things that were already forgiven before you did them. I saw you kneeling before me with your head bowed, asking for a second chance, without knowing that you never lost the first. And today I repeat it to you with tenderness and power. You are already forgiven. Not by your merits, but by my mercy. Not by your works, but by my love. Not because you deserve it, but because I decided it from the cross of time. I did not come to punish you. I came to heal you. I did not come to remind you of what you did wrong. I came to remind you that you are not defined by your past. You are more than your mistakes. You are more than your falls. You are more than your tears. You are my son, my daughter, my beloved creation. Guilt, release your hold. Release the mind you torment. Release the memories that do not belong to you. Release the thoughts that repeat like invisible chains. Today I decree that freedom comes to your soul, and everything that guilt had entangled will be unbound by my voice. Beloved son and beloved daughter, it was not you who lost. It was the plan that matured. It was not failure. It was learning. It was not punishment. It was preparation. Everything you thought stained you, today becomes a door for my glory. I take your story and turn it into testimony. I take your tears and transform them into seeds of wisdom. I take your silences and make them songs of hope. Stop looking back with shame. Look up with faith, because the past no longer has rights over you. My grace interposes between what you were and what you are about to be. And while guilt shouts your name, I pronounce a new one over you. Restored, clean, free, beloved son and beloved daughter. Do you know what guilt does? It locks you in yesterday and prevents you from seeing tomorrow. But today, I tear down the walls that held you back. I take you out of the prison of, if only I had, and lead you to the open field of I can still start. I tell you with a firm and loving voice, enough. Do not punish yourself anymore. Do not whip yourself with thoughts that do not come from me. I do not want you on your knees out of remorse, but standing by restoration. I do not need your lamentations. I need your surrender, because when you release guilt, your soul becomes light and heaven can dwell in you. Every tear you shed out of guilt was collected by my angels. They carried them before my throne, and they were turned into light. And that light now descends upon you. Feel how something breaks inside, but it is not destruction. It is liberation. It is the burden falling. It is the soul breathing. It is the heart beating again without weight. Beloved son and beloved daughter, sometimes guilt does not come from what you did, but from what others made you believe. They made you think you were less, that you were worthless, that you failed, that you were the problem. And you believed it because the pain was real. But listen to me clearly. None of that defines who you are. No one has the power to nullify the value I placed in you. No one can erase my mark from your soul. Today I extend my hand to you. Touch it with your heart. Feel my forgiveness entering you like soft fire. Feel my love washing your memories with light. Feel my grace covering your mind and hear my voice that tells you there is no guilt where there is love. There is no condemnation where there is redemption. There is no past where I dwell. I free you from the weight you carried. I free you from self-demand. I free you from inner punishment. I free you from the voice that accused you when heaven applauded you. I free you from the memories that hurt to breathe. From today, that burden ceases to be yours. I place it on my altar, and in its place I put peace. Beloved son and beloved daughter, see how the air changes. Feel how the atmosphere becomes light. The space around you is full of my presence. What you feel is freedom. What vibrates in your chest is my spirit confirming that something new has just begun. Guilt no longer has power over you. What once held you back now propels you. What once oppressed you now elevates you. You have been forgiven. You have been washed by grace. You have been restored by love. Walk in freedom. You are no longer a prisoner of the past. You are a bearer of divine forgiveness. Lift your head, release the sigh. Look forward, because heaven is celebrating what you have just released. And as the wind caresses you, listen within you to my voice, telling you with tenderness and authority, guilt, release your hold. My son is free, my daughter is free, and nothing will ever again chain what I have liberated. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I've seen the days when your spirit has felt weary, your soul worn out, and your body without strength. I have seen how you gave more than you had, how you cared for others, while something within you slowly faded. But today, I have come to remind you of something sacred. I did not create you to survive. I created you to abound. True abundance is not measured by what you possess, but by what flows within you when you are aligned with me. Abundance is a current of my presence that flows through your spirit, fills your soul, and renews your body. And today that current begins to flow again. Beloved son and beloved daughter, for a long time you thought that being blessed meant having more things. But I don't offer you just things. I offer you fullness. I offer you a life that breathes purpose, that is full of peace even when the world is in chaos. I offer you joy that does not depend on circumstances, health that springs from the soul, and strength that does not come from muscles, but from faith. When my spirit dwells in you, every part of you begins to heal. Your mind stops fighting with what it cannot change. Your heart stops chasing what it no longer needs. Your body stops carrying what does not belong to it. And then, for the first time, everything in you begins to align with heaven. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I am not a God of halves. I am the God of totality. I did not come to save only your spirit. I also came to restore your soul and your body. Because if one part suffers, the others stagnate. That is why today I unleash upon you a complete restoration. From the root of your being, my light enters and expands into all that you are. Feel how my presence descends now. It begins with the invisible, your spirit. That is where I place my breath of life. That spark that connects you with me ignites with greater force. What was asleep awakens. What was weak strengthens. What you believed lost returns to you, transformed into wisdom. My spirit breathes within yours, and everything it touches begins to flourish. From your spirit, my light passes to your soul. There where you stored sadness, resentment, wounds, and emptiness, I begin to cleanse. I remove the darkness you hid. I wash the corners where there was still fear. I heal the memories where the word pain still lived. And as I do this, your soul becomes light. Your mind quiets, your heart opens, and a new sensation covers you. What you feel is not emotion, it is my peace. Now my presence touches your body. Yes, your body, that which has carried worries, tensions, and exhaustion. I enter into your cells, restore what stress damaged. I renew what weariness extinguished. I strengthen what fear weakened. I feel your heartbeats and synchronize them with those of heaven. Your breathing becomes deep. Your energy is renewed. And although you may not notice it at first, you will begin to feel different, more alive, stronger, lighter, more complete. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I don't want you to survive. I want you to live in expansion. I want your spirit to shine, your soul to rejoice, your body to reflect my glory. I want you to wake up every day with gratitude and rest every night with peace. I want you to smile without fear of tomorrow, because tomorrow already belongs to me. I want you to walk with a firm step, with a clear gaze, with a free heart. That is the abundance I promise you. Not the kind that is bought, but the kind that is breathed. Not the kind that weighs, but the kind that liberates. Not the kind that ends, but the kind that remains. And today, that abundance begins to flourish within you. Stop thinking that you don't deserve so much. Stop believing that you cannot be happy. Stop expecting the bad when I promised you the good. The enemy convinced you that asking for peace was too much. But I tell you that I not only give it to you, I multiply it and deliver it to you in body, soul, and spirit. Beloved son and beloved daughter, scarcity is not your inheritance. Your inheritance is fullness. Your destiny is not lack, it is overflow. That is why today I command your surroundings to align with my abundance. I command your thoughts to be renewed. I command your emotions to find rest. I command your body to feel my divine energy running through its veins. I've seen you give even when you had little. I've seen how you shared your bread, your time, your strength. I've seen how you poured out love again and again. That is why today I fill you, because true abundance comes when the soul gives without expecting and yet does not empty itself. Just as a river never stops flowing, even when it gives itself to the sea, so will your life be. You will give without losing. You will love without exhausting yourself. You will serve without falling, because your source springs from me. Do not fear when the world says there is nothing. I always have, and what I have is infinite. As long as you continue to seek my face, you will never lack the essential. And the essential is not the material, but my presence. That presence that fills you within and is reflected without. That presence that heals, that gives joy, that renews, that protects. Beloved son and beloved daughter, lift your hands and receive, not with doubt, but with gratitude. Not with fear, but with certainty. Because everything that was taken from you returns purified, and everything that was stagnant begins to move in your favor. Your spirit flourishes, your soul breathes, your body strengthens. Heaven pours fullness over you. From now on, you will walk with balance. Your mind and your heart will no longer fight each other. Your spirit and your body will be one, inhabited by my light. And where there was scarcity, there will now be abundance. Abundance of peace, abundance of wisdom, abundance of love, abundance of purpose. Because the abundance I give cannot be stolen, cannot be lost, cannot be exhausted. It is eternal. And today, beloved son and beloved daughter, that abundance is poured out upon you like a river that nothing and no one can stop. And as my light covers you, listen to my voice telling you with tenderness and divine authority. Live in fullness, walk in abundance, shine with my glory, because in you I have decided to dwell. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen carefully, because what you are about to understand will change the way you see your life. You have never walked alone, though many times you may have believed it. From the moment you opened your eyes to this world, my angels have gone before you. They are the extension of my will, the living manifestation of my protection, the silent answer to prayers you had not yet uttered. When you cried in solitude, one of them covered you with his wings. When fear paralyzed you, another held your heart with his strength. When you took a wrong path and something invisible stopped you, it was not coincidence. It was my army of light, diverting what the enemy had prepared against you. Every step you took was surrounded by celestial presences that operate beyond human understanding. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I send my angels not only to protect you, but to prepare the places where I will place your blessing. While you pray, they move. While you sleep, they work. While you wait, they build what you cannot yet see. And when it seems that nothing is happening, that is when they are closest. I have commanded the angels to walk before you, to open doors that no man can open, to close those that could destroy you, to clear the path of invisible stones, and to cut the ties that still bind you to pain. That is why, beloved son, beloved daughter, sometimes you felt that everything moved without explanation. Sometimes people moved away without reason, opportunities closed without apparent cause, or you were removed from places you thought were safe. It was not rejection, it was protection. My angels were clearing your path. They do not act on impulse. They act by divine order, and I have commanded them to go before you, not to replace you, but to smooth the ground that belongs to you, so that when you arrive, there is no darkness to extinguish. Because the light will have already filled everything, so that when you speak, your words will find prepared hearts. So that when you advance, the ground will not hurt your feet. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there are battles you did not see, but you won them. There are dangers you did not feel because they intervened. There are attacks that were stopped before they reached you, and you didn't even know it. How many times did you drive a vehicle and not understand why the impulse to stop saved you? How many times did you arrive late to a place and later understood that it was providence? How many times did you hear an inner voice that told you, wait, go back, don't do it? That was my instruction sent by them. My angels are not distant figures in heaven. They are real presences in your surroundings. They move like wind that is not seen but felt. When the atmosphere becomes light, when an unexpected peace fills the room, when a tear falls without sadness, it is a sign that one of them is near. Their light does not dazzle the eyes, it illuminates the soul. Their voice is not heard with the ear, but with the spirit. Their presence does not cause fear, it causes reverence and comfort. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I send them before you when danger arises. I command them to cover you in the midst of the storm, to stop the arrow you do not see, to extinguish the fire that the enemy ignites against you. Therefore, when the winds rage and circumstances seem to spin out of control, do not despair. It means that the heavens are in motion. It means that the angels are fighting in places where you cannot enter. There is one of them assigned only to you, who bears your name written in his essence. I placed him by your side from your birth, and he has never abandoned you. He has been with you in tears and in triumphs, in fears and in silences. He has heard your weakest prayers and carried them before my throne. And when you were silent from weariness, he continued to speak for you. That angel knows your battles, but he also knows your promises. And right now he is preparing the stage for your next victory, beloved son and beloved daughter. There are other angels whom I send according to the times. Angels of healing when your body needs restoration. angels of comfort when your soul breaks, angels of wisdom when you must make decisions, angels of justice when the enemy rises, and all of them obey a single voice, mine. Do not underestimate their presence. Do not worship them, but respect them. Do not invoke them with fear, but with faith. Just say, Father, send your angels before me, and they will move because they do not act by their own power, but out of love for the purpose I have placed in you. Wherever you go, they will go before you. On every new path, they will place signs. When the terrain is uncertain, they will illuminate your steps. And when your knees tremble, they will hold you so that you do not fall. Sometimes you will believe that you are advancing alone, but it is not so. They march before you with banners of light, opening portals of favor. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have not only promised you victory, I have promised you celestial companionship. And that companionship does not leave you for an instant. Therefore, even in the midst of difficulty, walk with confidence. Do not fear what you do not see, because the invisible works for you. Do not fear the darkness, because where you arrive, they have already lit torches. Do not fear delays, because while you wait, they are moving the strings of what will soon manifest. And when everything seems impossible, remember, my angels do not retreat. They do not know defeat, because where my light goes, shadow flees. Where their steps sound, fear dissolves. Where they spread their wings, faith is reborn. So keep walking, beloved son, beloved daughter, keep advancing with your heart at peace, because the path you walk today has been cleared by heaven. And when you reach where I send you, you will discover that everything was prepared. You will see signs, faces, opportunities, and you will know that it was not luck. It was fulfillment, it was protection, it was purpose. My angels go before you. They prepare your future while I sustain your present. They build what your faith is about to receive. And while the world walks with uncertainty, you will walk with certainty, because heaven itself is marching before your steps. Lift your eyes, breathe, and trust. The battle is no longer yours. It is mine. And when my army moves, no force can stop what I decree. Walk without fear, because my angels already go before you. And as you advance, feel my voice in your soul that tells you with power and tenderness, my son, my daughter, the path is already clear. Go, because heaven escorts you, and where you place your feet, my light has already arrived first. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen calmly, because what I am about to reveal to you may cause tears, but it will also bring understanding and peace. Not every loss was punishment. Not every separation was betrayal. Some people moved away because I moved them. Some bonds broke because my purpose needed space. And although it hurt, it was necessary. For a long time, you asked why some left you without explanation. Why doors that seemed like a blessing suddenly closed. Why friendships that swore to be with you vanished without reason. And although you felt your heart breaking, it was never abandonment. It was divine protection, because there were things you could not see, hidden intentions behind smiles, sweet words with roots of selfishness, alliances that would have stolen your peace and contaminated your destiny. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I did not remove people from your life to make you suffer, but to save you. Some companions would have extinguished your inner fire. Others would have derailed your promises. I who looked beyond the instant had to intervene. Yes, you cried. Yes, it hurt. Yes, you felt betrayed. But I assure you it was my hand that interrupted what would have slowly destroyed you. There were conversations that did not happen, because if they had, you would have been hurt. There were paths you did not take because you would not have returned. There were opportunities that did not flourish because they were not part of the plan. And although at the time you believed that heaven was closing doors on you, in reality it was opening your future. I separated what needed to be left behind. I separated the temporary from the eternal, the human from the divine, what distracts from what builds. Because you were not created to live in confusion, but in purpose. You were not born to please everyone. You were born to please me, and that requires solitude in some stretches of the path. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there is a holy solitude that does not hurt. It cleanses. It is the kind of silence where the soul stops listening to other voices to listen to the voice of God. That is why I set you apart for a time. That is why I distanced you from certain circles. It was not punishment. It was consecration. You were being separated for a greater task. And that task is not built with noise, but with intimacy. When the world did not understand your process, I did. I was refining you, polishing you like gold purified in fire. I was stripping you of human dependencies to make you depend only on me. Because while you sought approval from others, I wanted to give you identity. While you asked for companionship, I offered you communion. While you wanted to be surrounded, I was preparing you to be a source. Beloved son and beloved daughter, farewells hurt you. I know. It hurt you to see paths separate for no apparent reason. But I want you to know that the people who left did not leave alone. I guided them out, because not everyone can walk with you to the next level. There are heights where only those who also carry light fit, and some whom you loved were not ready for the new version of you that heaven is raising. Stop looking back. Do not cling to what has already served its purpose. Do not cry for what ended. Celebrate that your story continues. The pain of losing was only the announcement that something purer was about to be born. I know what you need. I know who should stay and who should not. And although it sometimes seems unfair, every departure was a protection, not a loss. When you felt doors closing, I was opening portals. When you thought solitude was your enemy, you discovered it was your teacher. Because in the silence of those absences, I began to speak to you without intermediaries. I taught you to recognize my voice. I showed you who you really were. And now, when you look back again, you will no longer do so with pain, but with gratitude. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not fear separations, because none occur outside of my control. If something left, it is because its cycle was complete. If something ended, it is because something new is about to begin. I'm a God of purposes, not coincidences. And everything that separates from you makes space for a greater blessing. Some people were just stations, not destinations. They taught you, propelled you, awakened you. And although their passage was brief, it was necessary. Give thanks for their presence, their departure, and their purpose. Because even farewells were part of the plan. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when you feel nostalgia, when you look at photos, when the memory hurts you, say within yourself, Lord, thank you for what I lived, and thank you also for what you took away. That prayer will open new paths, because gratitude is the key that transforms losses into wisdom. Do not lament anymore for what is no longer there. Celebrate what is coming. Because the hands that are empty today will soon be full, and what comes will be stable, pure and eternal, because it will come from me. I have separated you not to isolate you, but to position you. I've set you apart not by rejection, but by purpose. And soon you will see that the separations that hurt the most were the ones that protected you the most. Beloved son and beloved daughter, yesterday's solitude will be tomorrow's testimony. Today's tears will be the strength of the future. And every door that closed in your face will be replaced by one that will open with glory. So breathe and release. Do not resist the process. Do not fight against what I myself am ordering, because the plan I have for you requires space, purity, and direction. And when everything is ready, when the cleansing is finished, I will send again new people, healthy relationships, true alliances. This time they will not bring burdens. They will bring purpose. They will not drain you. They will propel you. They will not distract you. They will confirm you. And when that moment arrives, you will finally understand that nothing was a loss. Everything was part of my protection. And then you will hear yourself say with tears of gratitude and a trembling voice, "Thank you, Lord. Now I understand." Every separation was a shield. Every farewell was a door to you. And I will answer you in the silence with infinite tenderness. Yes, my son. Yes, my daughter. I separated you to preserve you. I emptied you to fill you. I took away what hurt to give you what saves. And what comes now will not make you cry. It will make you shine. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen carefully, because today I want to give you one of the most powerful keys in the kingdom. That key does not open material doors, but spiritual ones. It does not open visible paths, but hidden trails where only those who see with the soul can advance. That key is called discernment. Discernment is not intelligence or cunning. It is the inner eye that distinguishes what appears good from what truly comes from me. It is the sensitivity that allows you to hear my voice among 1,000 voices. It is the inner light that shows you the purpose hidden behind what happens. And without it, beloved son and beloved daughter, the soul becomes confused, the heart goes astray, the ears fill with noise. I've seen you fall for deceptions disguised as promises. I've seen you approach places where there seemed to be light, but the light was false. I've seen you trust sweet words that later turned into knives, and every time that happened, you cried, you doubted yourself, you blamed yourself. But it was not error. It was a lesson. I was teaching you to see with the spirit and not with the eyes. I was training you to recognize my voice among the shadows. Beloved son and beloved daughter, discernment is not learned. It is awakened. And that awakening happens when the soul surrenders to me. When you stop asking why and begin to ask me for what. Then the mind silences and the heart becomes an instrument. And through that silence my wisdom flows. I will give you clear signs, but you must look beyond the obvious. When something causes you confusion, stop. I do not dwell in confusion, but in peace. Where there is doubt, wait. Where there is haste, observe. Where there is calm, advance. Because my presence is recognized by the serenity it leaves. Discernment is the key that separates the voice of fear from the voice of faith. Fear shouts, faith whispers. Fear accelerates, faith waits. Fear imagines the worst. Faith remembers who I am. And when you learn to listen from the Spirit, you know immediately which of the two is speaking to you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there are things that seemed like losses to you, but they were protections. There are people who moved away, but it was to save you. There are opportunities that did not come, but they were watching over you. And if you had had discernment back then, you would have seen my hand, even in what hurt you. But now you will see it, because today I open your spiritual eyes. From this moment, you will begin to notice signs you once ignored. You will perceive intentions in the air. You will distinguish truths hidden under smiles. You will hear thoughts behind words, not to judge, but to protect your purpose. Because not all paths are yours. Not all hands that applaud you bless you. Not all open doors come from me, and discernment will be your shield. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not make decisions on impulse. Do so with direction. Before speaking, ask me. Before signing, consult me. Before advancing, listen to me. And if your soul feels uneasy, even if everything seems perfect, wait, because my time is exact. And what does not arrive today is because it is not yet right for you. I do not want to see you walking on paths that only wear out your soul. I want to see you walk in purpose, and that is why today I give you this master key. When you use it, deception will fall, lies will unravel, and the enemy will no longer be able to manipulate you because you will see things as I see them. And when a child sees with the eyes of the Father, nothing can lead them astray. Beloved son and beloved daughter, discernment will also show you what is within you. It will reveal emotions you didn't know governed your actions. It will teach you to distinguish between what you feel and what is truth. It will make you recognize when you speak from a wound and when you speak from peace, and that will make you free. From now on, you will listen more with your soul than with your ears. You will see more with your spirit than with your eyes. You will understand more with your heart than with your mind. And every time something seems confusing to you, remember these words. If there is no peace, it is not I. If there is light, I am there. If there is love, I dwell there. Discernment will be your guide in dark days, your lighthouse in uncertain times, your security when the world seems to tremble, and when you feel something telling you no, even when everyone says yes. Trust. That is my voice protecting you. And when you feel something propelling you with a deep calm, even if no one understands it, advance. That is my direction guiding you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there is a kind of wisdom that does not come from books, but from communion. That wisdom I give to you today, a clear mind, an awakened heart, a finely tuned faith. They give you eyes that see the invisible, ears that hear the eternal, a spirit that perceives the truth. And with that master key, you will be able to enter doors that others do not recognize. Discernment will not only free you from danger, it will lead you to the right opportunity. It will not only turn you away from error, it will align you with the miracle. And when you begin to live guided by this key, you will know what it is to walk under divine counsel. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when the world shouts, be silent. When others run, stop. When no one understands, pray. And in that silence where nothing seems to be happening, you will hear my clear, sweet, firm voice saying, this is the way. Walk in it. That phrase will be your guide. That voice will be your map. That peace will be your confirmation. And when others stumble, you will advance. When others get lost, you will discern. Because I will be within you, whispering the direction that leads you to my perfect will. Beloved son and beloved daughter, guard this key with reverence. Use it every day and remember that it has not been given to you to judge, but to love with wisdom. For he who discerns loves better, forgives more easily, and walks with firm steps. And as I speak to you, heaven illuminates above you. A deep peace descends. The air becomes light, the soul expands. That is the sign that the gift has been activated. From today, you will see with clarity, decide with wisdom, and advance with purpose. And you will hear my voice in the spirit that tells you with divine sweetness, my son, my daughter, use the key. Do not fear. What you do not understand, I will show you. And where you see no way out, discernment will open the path. Beloved son and beloved daughter, listen with humility, because what I am about to reveal to you today is a secret of the kingdom. Many seek authority to be seen, but few desire it to serve. Many want power to control, but not all understand that true power is that which is surrendered. Heaven does not anoint to dominate. It anoints to love. It does not elevate you to govern over others, but to bow with compassion. The authority that comes from me is not shouted, it is breathed. It is not demonstrated with force, but with presence. It is not imposed, it is recognized. And he who possesses it does not use it to glorify himself, but to lift up those who are fallen. That is why today I tell you with tenderness, I have given you authority, but not to crush, but to heal, beloved son and beloved daughter. Remember how the world understands power. Then fight for the throne, the strong tread on the weak, those who seek to have more. But in my kingdom everything is different. Here the greatest is he who serves, the wisest is he who is silent, the most powerful is he who loves. My throne is not in a palace. It is in the heart that surrenders. And there, where there is humility, glory manifests itself. I've been preparing you to exercise a different authority. Not one that demands obedience, but one that inspires confidence. Not one that imposes with fear, but one that transforms with example. Because the authority that comes from above is recognized without words. It is in the gaze that comforts, in the gesture that forgives, in the word that lifts up. That authority is already in you. You only needed to remember that it was not given to dominate, but to reflect my character. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have passed through trials where you were misunderstood. People who did not understand your goodness mistook it for weakness. Others took advantage of your silence, believing it was cowardice. But I was watching, and every time you chose to be silent when you could have responded, every time you chose to forgive when you had the right to judge, my spirit was strengthened in you. Because silence guided by love has more authority than 1,000 shouts of pride. I did not give you authority to control others, but to control your impulses. I did not give you power to demand, but to sustain. I did not give you influence to impose yourself, but to be a light. True greatness does not consist in having others under your feet, but in having my spirit over your heart. And when you understand that, heaven trusts you more. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there is something sacred that happens when a soul learns to serve. He who serves reigns without seeking it. He who humbles himself ascends without pretending it. He who blesses governs from silence. That is why I tell you, be a servant of good, and good will serve your purpose. When I ask you to help others, it is not because I need them. It is because I am forming you. Every act of service you do unseen is a brick in the spiritual throne I am building within you. Because celestial leadership is not built with titles. It is built with love, and that love is tested in anonymity. When no one applauds, when you give without receiving, when you help without expecting return. Beloved son, beloved daughter, I have given you authority over darkness. Not for you to boast of your strength, but for you to liberate those who still live in chains. Every time you rebuke evil with love, every time you choose truth, even if it costs you, every time you defend justice without seeking reward, you exercise my authority. And the enemy trembles, not by the volume of your voice, but by the purity of your intention. The world seeks dominion, but I seek hearts that govern with compassion, because love is the greatest power in the universe, and he who learns to love becomes my reflection. That is why I have allowed you to go through pain, because only he who has known brokenness can exercise authority with tenderness. He who has not cried judges. He who has cried understands. And the strongest authority is that which is born of understanding. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when you see someone fallen, do not look at them from above. Come down to their level, take their hand, and lift them with the strength I once used to lift you. That is true authority. Power is not in the throne, but in the bent knees that pray. It is not in the scepter, but in the hand that holds the weak. And when you act like this, heaven recognizes you as one of its own. Your authority is not measured by how many follow you, but by how much love you leave in those around you. Not by the words you speak, but by the peace you sow. Not by what you obtain, but by what you give. And the more you give, the more what you have multiplies, because that is how my kingdom works. What is given with love is never lost. Beloved son and beloved daughter, learn this and never forget it. He who dominates with fear loses his soul, but he who serves with humility gains it. He who seeks earthly glory fades, but he who seeks my will shines eternally, and you were created to shine. That is why I anoint you today with a different authority, one that does not weigh, but liberates, one that does not oppress, but propels, one that is not inherited with titles, but with spirit. From today your presence will bring peace. Your words will calm storms. Your silence will disarm the enemy. And wherever you place your hands, something will be restored. Because the authority I place upon you is not visible, but it is felt. It is like a soft fire, a holy energy, a grace that accompanies your every step. Beloved son and beloved daughter, walk, knowing that you do not need to demonstrate power. You are power when you remain in me. Do not seek to be great. Seek to be faithful. Do not seek to be applauded. Seek to be guided, because in my kingdom, the humble are the true kings, and the servants are the true lords. So go forth, my beloved, not with pride, but with tenderness. Not with human authority, but with my celestial authority. And when you touch a life, when you comfort a heart, when you extend a hand, heaven will take it as an act of rain. Because to reign, in my language, is to love. And as I speak to you, heaven leans over you. A gentle breeze caresses your face. That is my confirmation. I've given you authority. Yes, but remember, it is authority to serve, not to dominate. And when you serve with love, every opposing force will bow before you. And you will hear my voice whisper in your ear, reign with mercy, govern with compassion. Because true power is not demonstrated, it is offered. And he who serves with love already carries the crown in his hands. Beloved son and beloved daughter, stop for a moment, breathe, and listen. Because what is about to happen in your life will not be a product of your effort, but of my grace. For a long time, you have tried to accelerate processes, push doors, force times, believing that if you didn't do it, nothing would happen. But today, I want you to understand a truth that will transform the way you walk. It is not haste that will lead you to your destiny. It is my favor that will gently push you to it. The world taught you to run. It told you that if you don't get ahead, others will beat you. That if you don't hurry, you lose opportunities. That if you don't move fast, time leaves you behind. But I do not work with human clocks. I work with eternity. And when I decide to move you, you don't need speed, only obedience, because my grace is not late. It arrives exactly on time. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have seen your anxiety. I have felt your weariness. I have heard the prayers in which you asked, Lord, when? And although it seemed that I did not answer, I was working in silence. Because I don't want to give you something out of season. I want to give you something that endures. I don't want you to arrive first. I want you to arrive complete. I don't want you to run aimlessly. I want you to walk with purpose. Haste robs you of peace, but my grace restores your balance. Haste makes you compare, but my grace reminds you that your story has its own clock. Haste exhausts you, but my grace renews you. And that is why today I tell you, don't run anymore, because heaven is already running for you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I do not forget promises. Every word I spoke over you is still alive. But some could not be fulfilled before, because your soul was not yet ready to sustain what you asked for. My love does not deny, it prepares. My love does not delay, it strengthens. My love does not ignore, it calibrates. And every apparent delay was training for your acceleration. You have passed through valleys, long waits, prolonged silences. You became frustrated. You believed something was wrong. But I was forming in you the patience that sustains great miracles. Because miracles received in haste are easily lost, but those received in my time remain forever. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when my acceleration arrives, everything will move so fast that you will not know how to explain it. Doors that were closed for years will open in days. Dreams you thought impossible will manifest effortlessly. People who had left will return transformed. And what once required struggle will now flow with ease. Because that is grace, a divine movement that accomplishes in an instant what you could not achieve in years. But before giving you speed, I had to teach you stillness, because he who does not learn to wait in peace will not know how to move with purpose when the time comes. That is why I stopped you. That is why there were pauses. That is why the path became slow. It was my way of teaching you that not all advancement is progress, and not all silence is retreat. He who relies on my grace advances without tiring, because he no longer depends on his strength, but on mine. Beloved son and beloved daughter, it is not lost time that prepared you. It is time sown. Every tear, every prayer, every night of silent faith was a seed in the soil of heaven. And that soil that seemed dry now flourishes. Because I have said, now is the moment. And when I speak, everything accelerates. The wind obeys, the paths open, circumstances align. Nothing can stop what I decree. The grace that covers you now is not common. It is grace of fulfillment. Grace that accelerates processes. Grace that converts stagnation into movement. Grace that transforms blockages into pathways. And as you read this, something within you begins to move. You feel warmth, you feel peace, you feel an impulse. That is my spirit activating your new season. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not fear if everything suddenly begins to change. Do not fear if the days become intense and the pace increases. Do not fear if the pieces move without your intervention. You are not losing control. You are being carried by the wind of my will. And when that wind blows, those who trust fly. What once took time will now flow. What once hurt will now heal. What once resisted you will now surrender before your step. And most beautiful of all, you won't have to force it, because grace opens what force cannot. Grace conquers where strategy fails. Grace builds without wearing down. Beloved son and beloved daughter, this will be the time when you understand that my grace does not compete with haste. It arrives gently, but it transforms everything. It does not destroy, it aligns. It does not accelerate out of ambition, but out of purpose. And when grace takes you by the hand, time stops being an enemy and becomes an ally. Don't run anymore. Don't compare yourself. Don't look at the clock. Look at my word, because my word does not expire, does not age, does not delay. And if I promised, I will fulfill. Everything you waited for you will see fulfilled in its exact moment. And when it happens, you will know that it was not luck or coincidence or your effort. It was my favor. It was my hand moving the times. It was my grace accelerating what was stagnant. Beloved son and beloved daughter, let my peace govern your days. Release the anxiety of results. Enjoy the process, because while you wait, I work. And when you least expect it, you will see how everything aligns. Right people, right places, right doors, all synchronized by the perfect orchestra of heaven. You won't have to push, only advance. You won't have to shout, only declare. You won't have to run, only trust. Because the speed of heaven does not depend on your feet. It depends on my breath, and that breath is upon you now. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you are entering the time of acceleration by grace. And as you walk, you will hear my voice saying to you, don't rush, don't stop, just follow the rhythm of my spirit. For what is coming you will not win by haste. You will receive it by love. And when everything is fulfilled, when you look back and see how the pieces fit together effortlessly, you will fall to your knees and say, it was God, only He could do it so perfectly, so quickly, and so peacefully. And I will smile from above and tell you, yes, my son, yes, my daughter, it was not speed, it was grace. And where there is grace, there is no loss, only purpose fulfilled. Beloved son and beloved daughter, today I want to enter the deepest place in your soul, there where no one else has reached. That corner where you keep memories you share with no one, where time has not erased the wounds, only hidden them. That silent space where the soul still cries for what the mind tries to forget. Allow me to enter there, because today I have come not to touch your past, but to heal it. For years you have carried within you memories that weigh more than days. Words that marked you, glances that hurt you, decisions that still pain you. You have learned to live with them as one who walks with a stone in their shoe. You advance, but with pain. And though you no longer say it, I hear when your heart murmurs, why did I have to live through that? Today, I will answer you with love, because every wound, my son, my daughter, hid a seed of purpose. I was there when you were rejected, when you were betrayed, when solitude became your refuge. I was there when you cried without comfort. And although you believed I did nothing, I was gathering every tear, saving it as pure water to irrigate the soil of your new life. I did not allow pain to destroy you. I transformed it into depth, because deep souls are those who have learned to cry with me. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have lived carrying memories that no longer belong to you. You have relived scenes that you should only remember to learn, not to suffer. Your mind repeats them like an endless echo. But today, I break that echo. Today, I stop that internal film that ties you to the past. Because every time you relive it, you separate yourself from the present, and in the present is where I dwell. The past was the place where you learned. The present is where you flourish, and the future will be where you reign. But to reach the future, you need to heal what was left behind. Beloved son and beloved daughter, what happened was not your fault. You did not deserve what hurt you. You were not weak. You were growing, and although there were those who broke you with their words, I rebuild you with my voice. My voice does not point fingers. It lifts you. It does not judge. It cleanses you. It does not remind you of error. It reminds you of purpose. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel my presence entering like a gentle wind. That warmth rising from your chest is not emotion. It is my healing power. I'm touching your memories. I'm erasing the pain, but leaving the wisdom. I'm cleansing the wound, but preserving the lesson. Because I do not want to erase your history. I want to redeem it. Your past will not be eliminated. It will be transformed. What made you cry will become a source of comfort for others. What took your voice will make you a voice of hope. What made you fall will teach you to lift others. That is the way I work. I turn wounds into wings and tears into light. Beloved son and beloved daughter, within you are old versions that no longer represent you. People who defined you when you still didn't know who you were. Words you believed that became your truth from repeating them so much. Today I tell you with celestial authority, you are not what they told you. You are not weak. You are resilient. You are not guilty. You are forgiven. You are not invisible. You are chosen. You are not a mistake. You are my perfect design. Look within. There among the debris of pain is your true identity. An identity that is not based on achievements or failures, but on my unbreakable love. I called you by your name from before you were born, and that name still rings in heaven, waiting for you to recognize it too. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I give you a new identity. You will no longer be called wounded. You will be called healed. You will no longer be called victim. You will be called victor. You will no longer be called guilty. You will be called forgiven. And you will no longer walk with fear, but with purpose. That new identity is not defined by the world. I define it. From today, your memories cease to hurt and begin to teach. Your past ceases to pursue you and begins to serve you. Your history will not be a source of shame. It will be a testimony. And where you once felt an emptiness, you will now feel fullness. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I've seen how you tried to heal alone, how you said, I've overcome it without having fully released it. But today you will not heal with words. You will heal with presence, mine. I am here, traversing every hallway of your soul, touching every shadow, filling every corner with light. And where there was darkness, now there is clarity. Where there was sadness, now there is gratitude. Where there was pain, now there is purpose. Do not fear if you cry. The tears that fall now are not of sorrow. They are of liberation. They are the soul breathing for the first time without fear. They are the body releasing years of burdens. They are the spirit recognizing that it has returned home. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I declare over you complete healing. Your mind is renewed, your heart is cleansed, your past is redeemed, your identity is restored. You will no longer see yourself as a victim. You will see yourself as an heir. You will no longer judge yourself by what you were. You will rejoice in what you are becoming. And when you look in the mirror, you will know that the reflection you see is not of one who suffered, but of one who survived everything and is still here, because my hand never let go. Get up, look to heaven, inhale deeply. The air you breathe now is new. It is air of freedom. It is air of purpose. It is air of rebirth. Because when my light enters, everything is reborn. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not walk anymore with the eyes of yesterday. Walk with the eyes of a restored soul. Do not speak from your wounds. Speak from your healing. Do not remember from pain. Remember from gratitude. Because everything you lived had a purpose, and now that purpose is revealed before you. And as you listen to these words, my spirit descends upon you like a fine rain. It washes what still hurts, restores what is still missing, and seals your heart with a new name, beloved son, beloved daughter. From today you will walk free. You will no longer carry chains of guilt or shadows of memory. You will walk lightly in light with an open soul and a renewed heart. And you will hear my voice in the depths telling you with sweetness. The past no longer has power over you. You are new, you are free, you are mine, beloved son and beloved daughter. Listen carefully, because what you are experiencing is not chance or coincidence. Everything has been perfectly timed by my hand. For a long time, you felt that time was slipping away, that your opportunities had passed, that years were robbing your strength, that what you dreamed of had become unattainable. But today, I come to tell you something that will stir your soul. Heaven's clock has just struck your hour. I do not measure time as man measures it. You count days, I count purposes. You see delays, I see preparation. And every second you thought lost was a seed I buried in silence to flourish at the exact moment. That moment is now, beloved son and beloved daughter. There were stages where you felt out of sync, where you watched others advance while you seemed to fall behind. There were seasons of silence, years where nothing changed, and you wondered if my promise still stood. But though your eyes did not see it, my clock did not stop advancing, because every promise has its hour and every soul has its season. You were not forgotten. You were in divine waiting. When heaven marks an hour, all creation obeys. Winds change direction, doors open, names are pronounced, destinies are activated. And today the sound of my time is resonating over you. This is the moment you waited for without knowing it. Delays were redirections, silences were strategies, closures were safeguards. Nothing was out of place, only beyond your understanding. Beloved son and beloved daughter, human time can age the skin, but it does not touch eternal plans. My purpose does not deteriorate with years. It is perfected with waiting. Therefore, even if you believe you are late, in my kingdom you arrive just in time, because I do not work with speed. I work with exactitude, and today my exactitude manifests in you. There were days when you cried out, "When, Lord?" And my silence was not denial. It was preparation. I strengthened you without you noticing. I formed you while you thought you were only surviving. I was making you resilient, not impatient. I was teaching you to wait with faith, not with despair, because those who know how to wait are the only ones capable of sustaining what I entrust to them. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the clock of heaven has moved, and its sound penetrates the veil of the natural. The angels have heard my command. Everything that belongs to you begins to move toward you. People, opportunities, blessings, answers, everything begins to turn in your favor. And not by effort, but by fulfillment. Because what I decree does not depend on merits, but on faith. The times of heaven are like waves. At first they seem distant, but when they arrive, they sweep away everything that opposes them. And this wave, my son, my daughter, does not come to destroy. It comes to propel. It comes to lift you from the shore where you waited and launch you into the waters where you will fulfill your destiny. Therefore, do not fear if everything begins to move. Do not fear if structures change, if what is known transforms, if what was stable shakes. It is heaven moving the stage of your life to prepare you for the new. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have waited for this moment as much as you, because everything I planned for you had to mature. I watched you learn to trust. I saw you grow in faith. I saw you persevere when no one noticed. And that silent faithfulness was what accelerated my clock. The constancy of the heart that continues to believe even without seeing is the melody that activates divine times, and you played it without knowing it. You are no longer waiting. You are in fulfillment. Heaven has spoken, and your story enters a new chapter. Doors that were closed for years will open effortlessly. People you didn't see coming will arrive without you seeking them. Opportunities that seemed impossible will knock at your door, because the hour has struck, and when my clock marks, the entire universe aligns. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not worry about the years you feel you lost. I'm the God who restores time, and everything the enemy stole from you, I will return multiplied. The years of waiting were not waste. They were sowing, and now comes the harvest, an abundant, unexpected, celestial harvest. Heaven's clock does not run fast or slow. Its sound is not mistaken, and when its bell resonates over a soul, nothing can stop what I have prepared. That is why today I tell you your hour has come. The hour of change, of fulfillment, of answers. The hour when your tears transform into testimony. The hour when what you dreamed ceases to be a promise and becomes reality. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I myself hold the hands of your destiny. Nothing and no one can turn them ahead of time, nor stop them when I move them. Trust in my rhythm, because my time does not delay you. It preserves you, and everything that did not happen before was so that when it occurs, nothing and no one can take it from you. Do not be impatient, do not fear, do not doubt. Just observe how what seems stagnant begins to flow, how the prayers you thought forgotten begin to be fulfilled one after another, how divine synchronicity surrounds you, because this is the time heaven reserved for you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, lift your eyes and look at the horizon. You see how the light changes? It is the dawn of your purpose. You are no longer in the darkness of waiting. You are in the clarity of fulfillment. Heaven's clock has marked your name, and the sound of that call reverberates in the invisible. All creation knows it. Everything that belongs to you begins to respond. And as my light covers you, listen to my voice that resonates like a whisper and like thunder at the same time. My son, my daughter, your time has come. Do not fear movement, do not fear change. I have turned the clock in your favor. And from today, everything will accelerate by my hand. Walk with faith, because the hands of heaven have aligned with your destiny. And when I pronounce these words, the angels set out. Natural time submits to the eternal. Your spirit ignites with new fire, and within you awakens a deep certainty. You are not out of time. You are right in God's hour. Beloved son and beloved daughter, there comes a moment in the story of every soul when everything begins to make sense. That moment when the beginning and the end touch, and the soul understands that nothing was a coincidence. That moment has arrived for you. The circle is closing, and it closes not to end, but to complete. For years you walked among fragments. Parts of your story remained scattered. People you loved left. Dreams stopped halfway. You wondered why everything seemed incomplete, why there was so much beginning without conclusion, so much sowing without harvest, so much love without return. But what you didn't know is that I was tracing a perfect circle. Every step, every encounter, every tear, every silence was an invisible line that now unites before my eyes to form a complete work. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I do not write half stories. Everything I allowed in your life has a purpose. Even what you called loss was part of the trace. Even what you did not understand was part of my design. Because nothing that happens by my will remains inconclusive. And now you will see how everything begins to connect, how the pieces fit together, how what seemed broken is revealed as part of the whole. The perfect circle does not represent repetition. It represents restoration. It means that things return but not the same. They return transformed, that the people who left leave a lesson, that the opportunities you lost return in the form of fulfilled promises, that the places where you were hurt will now be scenarios of healing, that what seemed like an end was just another turn in my divine spiral. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I do not lead you in straight lines. I lead you on paths that seem curved, because the soul is not formed in shortcuts, it is formed in turns, and each turn brought you closer to your center, to me. Therefore, although you thought you were going in circles without direction, every step brought you closer to purpose. You were not lost, you were being perfected. Today I reveal to you the mystery of my divine geometry. Nothing is lost in my trace. Nothing is superfluous, nothing is missing. What seems like an error is a line that corrects. What seems like a pause is a point of rest. My work in you is precise, and although it sometimes seems chaotic, in the end it reveals itself to be symmetrical and beautiful. You are a design that is being completed under the perfect rhythm of heaven. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have felt that there are chapters of your life that you did not close. Wounds that never fully healed, promises that remained suspended. But I assure you that nothing remained inconclusive. In my time, everything that opened will be sealed with love. Everything that hurt will be redeemed. Everything you waited for will be returned, multiplied. Because when I close a circle, I leave no loose ends. I leave fulfilled promises. The perfect circle also represents reconciliation. And soon you will experience reconciliations you did not imagine. People who moved away will return transformed. Words that were never spoken will be uttered with truth. Misunderstandings will be clarified. and you will feel the peace of what is closed, the serenity of one who no longer needs explanations, because my love is capable of uniting what seemed irremediably separated. Beloved son and beloved daughter, when the circle closes, understanding opens. You begin to see how pain shaped you, how losses purified you, how waiting strengthened you, and then you discover that everything, absolutely everything, was necessary. Nothing was superfluous, nothing was missing, nothing arrived too early or too late. Everything was exact. And that understanding brings a peace that cannot be described with words, only felt with the soul. The perfect circle is also a symbol of eternity. And just as my love has no beginning or end, so will your story be from now on, continuous, alive, without interruptions. What was once fragmented will become fluid. What once seemed like effort will become grace. Because when my plan is completed, the soul stops struggling and begins to flow. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have been at war with your own past for so long. You judged yourself for not having known, for not having acted, for having trusted the wrong person. But today, I want you to breathe and forgive yourself, because everything you were, even your mistakes, served to bring you to this point of understanding. And this point is not an end, it is a revelation. It was necessary to go through everything to be able to see. Look around you. What once seemed dark now shines with meaning. What once weighed heavily now becomes light. What once hurt now inspires. Because the circle of my love covers everything. And when my love covers, it leaves no cracks. Beloved son and beloved daughter, from now on you will no longer walk with fear of repeating the past, because this new cycle is not repetition. It is ascent. Each turn takes you higher, deeper, closer to my heart. And there you will discover that the true purpose of everything you have lived was not to teach you to survive, but to recognize my perfection in your story. Lift your gaze. Feel how the air around you changes. That feeling of closure, of relief, of profound gratitude is not imagination. It is the circle completing itself. It is the universe responding to the decree that came from my mouth. Their time of brokenness is over. Their time of fullness has begun. Beloved son and beloved daughter, walk again, but now with lightness. Speak but from wisdom. Love but without fear. Dream but without anxiety. Because you no longer walk wounded. You walk complete. You no longer look with doubt. You look with revelation. You no longer live with fear of the cycle. You live with gratitude for the purpose. And as heaven covers you with its golden light, my voice resonates in the depths of your spirit, saying with infinite tenderness, everything that began has been perfected. Everything that hurt has been redeemed. Everything you waited for has been fulfilled. Your story has closed its circle, and now, my son, my daughter, your eternity in fullness begins. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have reached the threshold of a new dimension of your purpose. Everything you lived, every silence, every tear, every loss, every miracle, has been preparation for this moment, and now heaven gives you my final mandate. It is not an order that imposes. It is a commission that awakens. Because he who has been healed, restored, and completed cannot remain still. He must extend the light he received. I have formed you in the fire, I have polished you in the silence, I have tested you in solitude, and I have raised you in hope. None of that was in vain. I prepared you to be a channel, not a recipient. Because the blessing that is kept fades, but the one that is shared multiplies. And today I send you with a new anointing. An anointing that does not weigh but flows. An authority that does not wound but heals. A voice that does not shout but transforms. Beloved son and beloved daughter, you have crossed many deserts, and in each one you found a part of me. You saw me in pain and also in calm. You sought me in heaven and found me within you. And that revelation was not just for you. It was for others to know that I dwell in the heart that seeks me. That is why I send you, not with fear, but with purpose. Not with doubt, but with certainty. Not with ego, but with love. The final mandate I give you today is not for those who expect comfort, but for those who seek eternity. I call you to walk with courage, to sow light where there are still shadows, to speak hope in the midst of confusion, to lift up those who have lost faith. Because the mission of one who has been touched by my fire is to ignite other hearts. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the world needs what is within you. I did not create you to hide. I formed you to shine. Your story will be a lighthouse. Your voice will be a refuge. Your hands will be a bridge. Your steps will open paths. And when you feel small, remember that even a spark can illuminate a mountain. Do not say, "Who am I for this?" You are exactly whom I chose. I do not compare you with anyone. I design you with purpose. I do not ask for perfection. I ask for disposition. I will provide the words. You provide the heart. I will open the doors. You take the step. I will send the provision. You move with faith, because where you go, my spirit goes. And where my spirit arrives, nothing remains the same. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not fear the voices that try to stop you. Do not fear judgment, criticism, or rejection. They do not see what I see, nor understand what I reveal. Keep walking even if the ground trembles. Keep loving even if they don't understand you. Keep believing even if it seems impossible. Because those who walk with me never walk in vain. This final mandate is not a burden. It is an inheritance. I give you the legacy of light. I give you the torch of faith. I give you the power of the living word. I give you the authority of love. And I send you not only to speak of me, but to show me with your life. Because stronger than any sermon is the testimony of one who has been transformed. Beloved son and beloved daughter, stop looking back. Do not define yourself by what you were, but by what you are becoming. You are a letter written by my hands. You are a living message, a fulfilled promise, an answer sent. Walk with the certainty of one who knows that heaven supports them. Walk with the serenity of one who carries peace in their steps. Walk with the faith of one who knows that no shadow can extinguish the light they carry. It is not time to hide your voice. It is not time to silence the miracles you have seen. It is not time to stop the love that dwells in you. It is time to expand it, to bring comfort where there are tears, to ignite hope where there is emptiness, to speak my name, not with fear but with gratitude, because every time you speak with love, heaven will speak with you. Beloved son and beloved daughter, this final mandate is a call to live awake, not to walk as one who waits, but as one who has already received, not to pray with doubts but with certainty, not to love with conditions but with freedom, not to exist out of habit but out of purpose. Because those who walk with me do not live by inertia, they live by design. Your soul has already been aligned, your heart has already been restored, your mind has already been renewed. And now, my son, my daughter, I send you. Go with love, go with faith, go with fire. And as you walk, remember, your every step is an altar. Your every word is a seed. Your every gesture is a fulfilled prophecy. Beloved son and beloved daughter, do not look at the size of the world. Look at the size of the grace you carry. Do not fear the darkness, because where you arrive, my light arrives. Do not fear giants, because I walk before you. The final mandate is not an end. It is a beginning. It is the door through which you enter the purpose for which you were created. And as you listen to these words, feel how the wind changes. It is not common wind. It is the breath of my spirit confirming your call. A warm energy runs through your body. What you feel is not emotion. It is commission. It is my presence marking your soul with holy fire. And you will hear my firm and tender voice whisper within you, you are no longer the one who doubts. You are the one who advances. You are no longer the one who fears. You are the one who inspires. Go, my son, go, my daughter. Do what others do not dare. Say what others keep silent. Love as I loved you, because where you serve I will dwell, and where you place your hands you will leave footprints of eternity. This is the final mandate, the last word before the flight, the confirmation before the miracle, the call that opens your next spiritual life. And as the gates of heaven open over you, the entire universe responds with reverence. Because today, in this precise instant, heaven pronounces your name. And the echo of that call becomes destiny, beloved son and beloved daughter. Heaven is silent for a moment, not because it has gone away, but because it is about to seal what began in you. Every word you heard, every promise you felt, every revelation your spirit received will now be activated with power. This is the instant when my seal falls upon your soul. Not a human seal, not a religious symbol, but an eternal mark that declares, this son belongs to me, this daughter is mine. Beloved son and beloved daughter, feel now how my presence draws near to you. It is a slight warmth, a gentle fire, a glow that does not burn but transforms. That fire you feel is my Holy Spirit descending, sealing what was said and confirming what was promised. Nothing and no one will be able to snatch from you what I give you today. Neither time, nor fear, nor doubt, nor the enemy, because what I seal remains. And this seal bears 3 names inscribed: identity, purpose, and eternity. From today, your identity is affirmed. You no longer define yourself by what you lost, but by what your hands carry now. You no longer define yourself by wounds, but by healed scars that shine as signs of victory. You are my beloved son, you are my beloved daughter, and nothing and no one will be able to alter that truth, because you did not earn it with merits. I gave it to you by grace, and my grace does not fail, does not run out, does not withdraw. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the seal I place upon you today also activates the purpose that slept within your spirit. There are gifts you did not know you had, talents you have not yet explored, and dreams you had buried because fear covered them with earth. But this night, this hour, this instant, I call them by their name and awaken them. What was asleep rises, what was bound is released, what was hidden is revealed. Because when I breathe upon a life, dust becomes breath, and the soul becomes fire. Feel how something moves within you. It is the awakening of your purpose. It is the activation of your destiny. The same spirit that one day resurrected the impossible now moves within you with power. It anoints you with wisdom to understand, with courage to act, and with love to remain. You will no longer be moved by emotions, but by divine direction. You will no longer walk with doubt, but with certainty. You will no longer speak from a wound, but from revelation, because your word will carry the weight of my voice. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the activation is not only spiritual, it is also earthly. You will see doors open effortlessly. You will see connections that did not exist before. You will see fruit where there were only dry roots. Because the seal I give you not only protects, it also attracts. It attracts opportunities, grace, right people, and holy paths. Favor will follow you, light will accompany you, and peace will be your shield. And while all this happens, heaven writes in the book of life a new line with your name. It is not a symbolic record, it is an eternal declaration. This life was restored, this soul was activated. This heart belongs to the kingdom. From today, wherever you walk, my presence will walk with you. Wherever you speak, my voice will resonate in your words. Wherever you extend your hand, the miracle will manifest. Because you are not just a witness of the divine, you are a bearer of the divine. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the seal also brings a call. A call that is not imposed, it is felt. A call that does not weigh, it propels. A call that does not demand, it invites. And that call is simple: be light. Light in your home, light in your work, light in your surroundings, light in places where others only see shadow. You don't need titles or recognition or applause. You only need love, faith, and truth. Because he who shines with my fire does not need a stage, only purpose. I call you to walk with dignity, to speak with wisdom, to serve with tenderness, to love unconditionally, to bring peace where there is chaos and hope where there is ruin. That is your mission, that is your call. It is not a burden, it is a promise. Beloved son and beloved daughter, as you receive this seal, all of heaven celebrates. Angels raise their voices and intone your name among the notes of an eternal melody. The entire universe aligns with your destiny, and the Holy Spirit silently covers you with a new mantle. It is a mantle of light and purpose. It is your invisible armor made of grace and compassion. With it, nothing will strike you down because you are covered by my glory. From now on, you will live with a new awareness. You will no longer say, God is with me, because you will know that God is within you. You will no longer ask for signs because you will be a sign. You will no longer wait for miracles because you will be the miracle. And where others see an end, you will see a beginning. Because my Spirit has been poured out into you with abundance. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the seal is placed, the activation has begun, and the call has been pronounced. This is your moment. This is your new birth. Do not fear, do not doubt, do not retreat. Heaven walks with you, angels escort you. My light envelops you, and my word supports you. And as the universe is silent before the greatness of what is happening in this instant, my voice rises within you as an eternal echo and says, you have been sealed, you have been activated, you have been sent. Your story does not end here. It has just begun. Go, my son, go, my daughter. Because from today, wherever you set your feet, you will leave footprints of eternity. Beloved son and beloved daughter, this is the instant where the earth stops and heaven leans in. The words have already served their purpose. The process has been traversed. The fire has purified. The wind has cleansed. The water has restored, and the light has revealed. Now comes the culmination of everything the Spirit worked in you. Heaven crowns you. It is not a crown of earthly gold or fleeting glories. It is an invisible crown, made of purpose, faithfulness, and transformation. It is the symbol of the soul that resisted the weight of trials, that continued loving even with wounds, that continued believing even when the silence lasted years. It is the reward of one who did not let go of my hand, even when the world failed them. That crown is not placed on the head to be displayed. It is deposited on the spirit to remind you who you are. Beloved son and beloved daughter, I have seen your inner battles. I have seen how in the darkest days you chose faith over fear. I watched you tremble but not surrender, cry but not curse. And every time you did it, heaven wrote your name in brighter letters. Because for me, true victory is not measured in applause, but in resilience. It is not celebrated in multitudes, but in the intimacy of the soul that decides to continue. Heaven crowns you not because you were perfect, but because you persevered. It crowns you because you did not get lost in bitterness, because you kept seeking light, because you knew how to return to me even when your heart was tired. It crowns you because you did not let pain harden you, but transformed it into compassion. It crowns you because your tears, which the world ignored, were incense that rose to my throne. Each one of them was counted, and today they are poured over you, transformed into glory. Beloved son and beloved daughter, feel how my presence surrounds you. There is a new silence around you. It is not emptiness, it is reverence. The angels observe you with tenderness because they recognize in you the radiance of one who has been shaped by the hand of the Creator. A soft light descends upon your head, a glow that does not fade, a fire that does not burn but transforms everything it touches. That is my crown upon you. I place it with love, with divine pride, with eternal joy, and I declare over you, you have completed the process. You have passed the test. You have crossed the fire without losing faith. This crown does not make you superior, it makes you conscious. Conscious of what you carried and did not know. Conscious of the strength you harbored when you thought you had no more. Conscious of the love that remained alive even after loss. Conscious that you were chosen not for your merits, but for my love. Beloved son and beloved daughter, now walk with your head held high, not with pride, but with dignity, because you no longer carry guilt. You carry my favor. You no longer drag your past. You carry my promise. You are no longer defined by what you suffered. You are defined by what you survived. And that is true royalty, the kind that is born in ashes, the kind that dresses in light after darkness. The crown I give you today has 3 sacred stones. The first is called Redeemed Memory and shines with the color of your tears, transformed into hope. The second is called tested faith and gleams with the fire of the process you overcame. The third is called eternal love and is the radiance that will never fade because it comes directly from my heart. Every time you doubt yourself, touch your spirit and remember this truth. Heaven has already crowned you. No one can take away what I have given you. No voice, no error, no past, no shadow can snatch away this identity. You are king and queen of your story. You are light in the midst of darkness. You are a living reflection of the love that never fails. Beloved son and beloved daughter, the time to hide is over. Do not walk with downcast eyes anymore. Walk as one who carries heaven on their shoulders. Speak as one who has eternity in their voice. Love as one who understands that love is their inheritance and their calling. And every step you take will leave footprints of peace where there was once desolation. From this moment, the earth will recognize you not by your human name, but by the radiance of your spirit. Those who see you will feel calm because you will carry my presence. Those who hear you will encounter my truth. Those who touch you will feel my healing. Because you no longer live to survive, you live to manifest my kingdom. Beloved son and beloved daughter, heaven crowns you to send you forth again, not as one who begins, but as one who has returned transformed. I send you as a sower of light, as a bearer of comfort, as a living witness of the power of restoration. And as you walk, every word you speak will carry the vibration of the eternal love that dwells in you. Feel how the air around you becomes different. It is not earthly wind. It is my spirit surrounding you. The same one who sustains you in the darkest night now blows gently, affirming your destiny. That breath carries direction, promise, and consecration. And with it, I give you this final word. My son, my daughter, the process is complete. You have been crowned with light. You no longer walk as one who seeks. You walk as one who has found. You no longer pray from pain. You pray from fullness. Heaven recognizes you. The earth awaits you, and my glory accompanies you. Go forth and shine, because the world needs the radiance of your story. Silence fills everything again. It is not an end, it is fullness. The circle of your healing has closed, but the eternity of your purpose has just opened. Heaven crowns you, and from today, beloved son, beloved daughter, wherever you set your feet, life will flourish because you have been sealed, activated, called, and crowned by the hand of the eternal God. Heaven looks at you and smiles. And I tell you with infinite love and divine authority, go and live, because you are the living evidence that the impossible becomes a miracle when you walk with me.